Hey guys, today we're going to go over metal in inappropriate places so you can learn it and then annoy people in libraries around where you're from. Not that it was an actual prank, it was very obviously staged when I did it, but anyway, my guitar is going straight through an app called JamUp, just right here on my phone. It gives you a bunch of pedals and amps and you can change all the settings around. And it's pretty amazing. I used it a whole bunch and I think it's something you should check out. Link is in the description. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think it's pretty sweet. But anyway, the guitar is in D standard. I kind of wanted a drop D sound for this one, but I don't really like using drop tunings. I probably mentioned that in some other lesson videos. It just feels weird to me. I'm just so usually in standard, or I've always been in standard. So yeah, all the strings are down a whole step, and it's a little bit chunkier. So yeah, the song starts out with a pretty regular lick that I use in a lot of metal songs. I use this a lot, and it's that same lick, but just tremolo picked. So every pick, or every note, excuse me, gets 2 picks down and up, and the notes there are on the A string, or technically the G string here, and just 2nd fret, 3rd, 2nd. Then we bring that pinky up to the 4th fret on the E, and then back around to this little pattern. 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3. Also tabs in the description. As I imagine me just shouting numbers at you is kind of confusing, or at least it would be for me. So it starts with that, really fast picking there. And then goes to some power chords, palm muted at first. It uses the same scale I use for pretty much every song I ever do in metal. And we just go down chords on that, so 5, 4, 1, and then the 1 is really rung out and not palm muted, and then we continue going down the same scale, 4, 2, 0, or excuse me, 4, 1, 0. Tabs in the description. I'm gonna get confused with the numbers. It's all in that same spot, and then it's repeated. So, and I try to on those chords there, I try to really lay into the strings with the 2 palm mutes and then, you know, unpalm muted. All right, so the first part is just that, repeated twice. Except for that part. And then we take the same type of idea, same structure, and just move it up a little bit. So now it's going to be still starting on the A string, but 7, 8, 7, and then using the 8th fret on the E there. So changes up the position with your left hand a little bit. All in that one area. And then same idea. Then the chords there are 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 4, and again goes with that same scale. So the whole intro so far is then bring it up, then this part gets a little bit tricky before the first riff. Go. And that goes by really fast. So that's 7, 5, 4, 1. All power chords, all palm muted. Hit really hard if you can. And it goes by really fast until the verse comes in. And then goes to the next verse. My cat just fell off something. Don't know if you heard that, but he's okay. But his morale is wounded. Alright, so I should probably explain the scale too that I'm using, as just about all my metal songs, and especially this one, are based around it. I kind of think in scales in terms of just what they are on the E string, and then using, you know, what you know about the fretboard, you can figure out where all those notes are elsewhere. So it's just 0, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, back up to the octave, and so on. And then you figure out where it is on the rest of the fretboard. And that's where all my metal songs come from. So anyway, the next riff is, speaking of the scale, this one kind of goes out of it. So we ended the beginning riff. So that one's just chromatic, starts at 4, all palm muted. And then ends with, again, that like 3-chord structure where the first 2 are palm muted, and then it's really, you really lay into it. Just 1 or 0, 1, 0, and that repeats a lot. So it's just, then you move that whole chromatic, just moving down with all 4 fingers up to the 5th fret, continuing on from there. So I'm going to do this riff really slow. And then that repeats quite a lot. Then the second time around, you don't go up to the 5th fret. It's a little bit confusing, but if you kind of memorize the riff, then you can kind of figure out where your fingers go, all in the tab again. Then ends with, you know, big holdouts on 0 and 1. And then my mentality kind of with that really fast stuff, you could really spend a whole lot of time doing a really fast lick like that and making sure that it's in the same scale and whatnot. But for this, I kind of want it to just be chromatic wankery, you know? It doesn't really have any, it doesn't have to do with the scale or anything. And I kind of like that, especially when it goes really fast. You probably wouldn't be able, well, you'd be able to tell, but when things go really fast like that, I think it makes sense sometimes for it just to be chromatic, at least in a song like this. For this type of music, I like to really stick to that scale a lot, and then for certain parts, I'll just go away from it and completely forget about the scale and just do something like that. And this music kind of lends itself to that, to where that's cool, and it's like wrong, but that's what makes it oh so right, if you will. So there's that riff. My cat is once again falling off things. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And then it goes to the next riff, which is my favorite riff of this song. It starts off with just this, take your pinky and then you put it just a little bit to the left of the 4th fret. There's some good harmonics there, and just roll it with the pick. Let me make sure that the camera's still rolling. It is. Okay, that sometimes happens with my camera. But anyway, so you roll the pinky through that, and then right back to 0, 1, 0. So pretty similar to the last riff, but except for this roll. And I like to be really aggressive with that, to really let those harmonics ring out. And then we have a similar thing to that chromatic run we were doing earlier, but it just ends on 2. So you just forget about the 1st fret. So and then right before the end of the riff, you bring in that 1, and that's something I kind of like about it. So it kind of brings in what the previous riff sounded like. And then played really fast, it's like this. And then the next part of the song, there are 2 guitars, and they both play those 2 different riffs. So if you're playing it on your own, Just have to pick one and stick with it. I think in the video I kept doing that one because the next part of the song is just those two guitars doing the both riffs at the same time. Then it moves on to a pretty heavy, really fast tremolo thing. Again, back in the scale. No chromatic wankery here, but which is also something I do in a lot of my songs, at least a lot in the metal songs. Is I'll start on the 5th fret and then do something and end up, you know, just a flat down from it in the scale, and I think it usually sounds pretty cool. So anyway, so starts 5th fret, 7, 8, 5, 8, 4. Excuse me. And it's triplets, just done really fast. And then back to some power chords. Again, same scale, 4, 5, 4, 1, 4, 1, 0. And then that repeats twice, then the second time around you put a little shaky tremolo thing in there. And accent the 5th fret and the open. You don't do palm mutes there. Kind of got a cool groove to it. And then fast, that's beats. And then right there, it slides up to 12, 13, 12, right there on the octave. And really accentuating the slide there. I try to not pick there either. I might have picked in the video. I don't quite remember, but and then throughout that part, I ended a little bit differently. Like instead of just going, it's or something along those lines. And then I think there's a few other very small changes with the rhythm guitar there, but that's pretty much that riff. And then I recorded the rest of this, but I didn't realize that my camera shut off. And bleh. Okay, so I'm gonna start again from there, and I really need to get a new camera soon because I have one where I can't see when I'm recording. So when it stops, I don't know that it stops, and then I just keep going. Time to invest in a new camera. Anyway, okay, so then the very last riff of the song that Fluff solos over, which I don't know, so maybe you can ask him if he wants to show you how that solo goes, is starts with a chord that I really enjoy. I like using these thirds a lot in this scale. So instead of just doing power chords, I'll do thirds, which is, well, this one I can only do, for 0 I can really only do a power chord, and then 1, 0, 4, 2, 5, 3, and then continuing up. But anyway, so the last riff, what Fluff eventually solos over, uses these chords. So it starts right here in 5, 3, then same lick from the beginning, from the very beginning of the song. Then 1, 0, then just a regular power chord. So. And then played fast, it's then it just goes to regular power chords there. So just 5, 4, 1, 0. Very similar rhythm. And slide that 4th down. Oops. Yeah, like that. So the 4th is really slid. Really accent that. Then it ends like this. Just right there on the 5th fret. And then that is the whole song. I'm going to play it all the way through, and then you can stop it at any part if you want to learn by watching me play it. Okay. that part out. Oh, I forgot about this. All right, and I noticed that I did forget one part at the end of that one riff. The tremolo keeps going. Just holds on the 4, 5, 4, then a very slow 4, or excuse me, 1, 4, 1, 0, and then really accent the 4 and 0. And that's pretty much it. There's also a few, when I was playing through, I remember that there's a few harmony parts that the second guitar does, but in the video I didn't play them. So this was all just the main part. If you want to learn the harmonies as well, play it with a friend in a library, you can. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.